The objective today is to create a unique algorithm with at least 2 children. So let's start off by looking at this. Which of these count as an algorithm? So your first option here is A. It says function, check correct. You may recognize this code because we've already created this app before. The second possibility for an algorithm is B here. So it says function set board. And as you can tell, this one is quite a bit longer. And then C, function switch player. One more time, the question was which one of these counts as an algorithm? A, B, C, or the other choice is actually D, all of them. So the best answer here is D. Oval B is around the setBoard function, and this function does not clearly meet the College Board definition of an algorithm since it does not have 2 obvious children. So these children would need to use mathematical or logical concepts as well. With some tweaking, one might meet the bar by arguing lines 33 through 40 are the first sub-algorithm and 42 through 48 are the second. Since 42 through 48 use mathematical and logical concepts, this could potentially meet the bar set by the scoring guidelines, but more should be done to call this out. So let's look at that a little closer, lines 42 to 48. Here we are, 42 to 48. So you see here, there's some math being done to the red, green, blue values. And then a local variable being declared called diff_color. And then an assignment going on of an element called random button ID. It's going to get a number 1 through 4 right there. Then what happens is the background color is set, so the set property function is used to change the background color of a random button, so just one of the 4. So the background color is going to be a different color than the other 3, and I'm going to give myself a console.log message here saying the correct button is, and whatever it was right here, that will be displayed in my console right there. So all that just to say that 42 through 48, it uses mathematical and logical concepts. So there's an addition going on when you add 20 to the color, the RGB color values. And then some logical concepts because you need to do these things in order. First, you need to have a different color established, and then a random button established. And then the property of that random button is going to be changed or is going to use the different color value inside of it. So that way we get one of the 4 squares to show a different color. So now oval C, there's no obvious children to oval C. If one argued for the subparts of the if statement being children, they would not meet the bar since they do not include mathematical or logical concepts. So the if is good for algorithms, right? The whole word algorithm meaning go one way or go the other way. That's great, but the College Board's going to want to see mathematical and logical concepts being used and being explained by you. So maybe the closest one to the right answer was oval A. This might count as an algorithm. It uses mathematical and logical concepts. It has an if statement. It calls on at least 2 child algorithms inside of B and C. But if you selected all of it, all parts of the algorithm consists of more than mere library calls like set property, because you had to create your own functions, not just use JavaScript's built-in functions such as set property. So nevertheless, the oval is not placed around the code of the child algorithm, so while this meets the bar, the best option would be to include the code from at least 2 child algorithms in the ellipse and choose oval D. So when you go to take your test, you're going to create all your code, and then you're going to need to put an oval around a group or a couple blocks of your own code and explain what's going on right there and explain how it's an algorithm you created yourself. So is that going to take a lot of work? Yes, so get your pot of coffee ready because this is quite a feat and we're going to try to practice this today. So we're going to at least create 3 functions today and then do a short video recording of them working. So these links are going to be in Canvas if you're in my class. If not, here they are. You're going to use screencastomatic and you're definitely going to use the App Studio to create your 3 functions. These other 2 things here is just for your own curiosity to see what the College Board is saying about algorithms and what you're going to need to do on the performance task. And just so we're all on the same page, April 30th will be our deadline for submitting all the 5 of the performance task artifacts. Not just the computational artifact, but there's going to be 4 other things we need to upload to the College Board website. So at this point, you should have used this join code already to enroll in my class, and that'll give you access to upload PDFs and videos, 30 megabytes being the max. And then on the College Board website, this is a student view right here. So if you click Explore, you'll be submitting a computational artifact and a written response. That's a 700-word essay right there in a PDF format. And to do that, you just click each of these and upload the file that corresponds with each. It's okay to do drafts. In fact, I'm insisting we all do a couple drafts so I can see that it's being done correctly. I'd hate for you to fail the AP exam just because of a minor error like this where you don't put the right file in the right place. So we're going to use this download the latest button quite a bit. And don't forget there's this create section. That's what we're working on today. You're going to click the create button and there will be an option for you to upload a video of your code. So with that said, when you're uploading files, you need to just check these 3 boxes. And sometime after the first week of April, I'll be able to give you an AP number to enter into that website. So your actual work today is to do some coding, record with screencastomatic, and upload to the College Board as a draft. I'll run around and help, but if by chance you need help and I can't get to you, your code will save automatically. And you can just post it to Canvas just in case. But today I also want to show you how to post a video to Canvas. So we'll have videos in 2 different places. But that way we could collaborate. So your video on Canvas, everyone can watch and we can reply to each other during the review portion of our Monday schedule. So for today's coding exercise, your UI elements are already created for you. Now you just need to put them together. So let's go to this link, and what I want to do is click the remix button so it's nice and big for me to get started on my example of how to get started on code, and then you'll be able to work from there. So here we are on the link, and I just clicked the remix button up here to give myself a larger canvas to work on. Here's the UI elements. Now I need to do the code. And wow, how intimidating is this? Just a blank screen where I'm supposed to drag and drop or just start typing my own code. It's intimidating because where do I start when I'm creating a program? Well, I suggest let's click design mode and get to know our elements. So when I click on this box that says result, I see that the ID is message label. Now I really don't like underscores. Let me get rid of that. And in fact, I don't need it that large. I'm going to get rid of the word label. And when creating an app like this, I'm going to go ahead and start writing down my ID element names so I don't forget. So I wrote down message. Let's see what this thing is called, label 2. But it's just a label. I thought it was a drop down at first, but I think I'll go ahead and add my own drop down because it says select the day of the week. So if I was to just take this and drag it over here, now the person can actually do that. And going over here, I see there's several options. Well, if it's a day of the week, I'll go ahead and start with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And change the color just to make it uniquely mine. That looks cool to me. So that's enough in the design mode for me to get started. I know what this is called, and I don't know what this is called. It says drop down 2, and I don't know where drop down 1 would be, so let me go ahead and just change that to simply drop down, and I'll write it as exactly as I see it so I don't mess that part up. Alright, I mean this is enough for me to get started, at least on the code. So the first thing I want to happen, well, I need to get this drop down thing under control. So that's an event handler. So there that code is right there. I can drag that over. And what's the ID name? Well, I just saw it was drop down. So when somebody clicks on it, what do I want them to do? Let me get rid of this placeholder event. And I'm not even sure if I have to code the directions for what happens when it drops down. So let me go ahead and click run. And then I test it, I click it. Alright, so there are definitely the choices that come up right away. But I'm sitting here thinking I don't even know the code to make drop-down boxes work. So I have a couple options. 1, I can raise a hand and ask the teacher. 2, I can ask a buddy that I know knows coding pretty well. 3, I could go ahead and just Google that. JavaScript code for drop down menu. Oh, that pops up right away. So I can go ahead and search that. Or my last option is, since I don't know how to do that and I have to get work done in class today to prove that I'm understanding things, why don't I just delete that and go with stuff I know? So instead of doing a drop down, maybe I can just change that. Maybe I could just change it to something really simple like a button. So when I push the button, instead of choosing a day of the week, maybe I can say, click the button for something to do. And that doesn't look really good, so I can move that over, maybe shorten it. There we go, that looks more reasonable, so I'm going to drag it to be a little more centered. Okay, so click the button for something to do. There's the button. Let me change the color again just to make it my own. And I like this. So then click the button for something to do. I want the person to click this button, and then the result will come here, and the computer will tell them something to do. And that's not too bad. That didn't take too long to get back on a productive track here. So I'll drag my event handler over. Uh-oh, what was that called? Let me see what the ID was named automatically. Button 1, that's easy. So see, there's an example of really just how to get started, okay? I can't show you too much because the big point of today's lesson is for you to create an algorithm all by yourself, for you to create several blocks of code, then get it to run and do something, and create a video recording proving that it can run and do that something. So the trick is, this will probably be a 2-day lesson because coding and being creative takes time. So let's do this. Let's work on this for the next 2 days. That is if you're in my class. And then when you're done, we're going to create an MP4 of that. So that's using screencastomatic. I have a video tutorial on how to do that. But my advice is, when you're done recording, just save it to your desktop or somewhere you know how to access it easily, and then we can upload it to Canvas, so you could get your points on Canvas. Then I also want to upload it to College Board just to make sure that we can do that. This is by no means the final project, but it's proof that you know the process. So let me go show you how to do the Canvas upload with the video. If I go here and I click reply like usual, you see I'm on an old homework lesson right here. But when you're looking at this screen on Canvas, you can click the little video looking thing, and then you can choose this upload media. You want to select a video file. You can look through your files, pick the recording that you had done, and just double click it. It'll upload like that. And then there it is, and then you post reply. It's that easy. So good luck. Sorry I couldn't give you any more guidance in this particular video on how to create your very own algorithm. But the more I show you, the less you get to come up with stuff on your own. So that's the reason behind that.